Okay, so let's start. Let's do a roundtable introduction. We will let you know who we are, what we do at the college, and I will start. So you've probably seen me before if you have joined our webinar before, but my name is Kara, and I am one of the liaison and recruitment officers at the college. I specifically do the Southern Ontario region. So if you live anywhere between Ottawa to Windsor up to Huntsville, you may have seen me either at your high school, a community event, anything that's going on where we can come and talk to you about Northern College. That's where I'll be. Okay, let's go with Lynn.
Hi, I'm Lynn, and I am the social media liaison at Northern College. So with that, I'm responsible for sharing updates on our social media platforms and maintaining any engagement there, responding to comments or messages as they come in. So if you've ever commented or messaged us, it was probably me that you were talking to, actually. With my role in social media, I support the communications department and recruitment, so Kara and Sumit, with marketing our programs and services, as well as with some internal communications to current students.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lynn. Okay, Graham.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Graham Reed. I'm the Health and Safety Coordinator at Northern College for all the campuses. The main role is providing a safety resource for the senior management team and for all departments, and keep everybody abreast with any legislative changes, especially going through what we're going through now. Things change quite a bit. Responsible for all incident and accident reporting, recording, take care of any WSIB claims, liaison with all the ministries. Yeah, so basically a resource person. That's kind of where it sits. So every day it's usually, can you look into this and what's your opinion on that? So yeah, it's a great position. I enjoy it. I actually did this 15 years ago. So
oh, wow.
I'm back.
We're glad to have you. Thank you, Graham. Okay, so let's start with you then, Graham, for the question portion. Obviously, your role has always been important, but it is extremely important right now. So let's talk about the safety measures that Northern has put in place to protect the staff and students during this whole pandemic that's going on.
Yeah, it was. It all started when unfortunately, the pandemic started, and the news broke out probably early February, mid-February, with the development in China and what the government and what Canada was looking at. So we had a pandemic guideline in our portfolio, but it was based on the H1N1. So it was from 2008, I believe. So it was a very lengthy, it was like an 85-page guideline and protocol. So we sat down, our vice president, Mitch Loomis at the time, sat down, we developed a committee, tried to get quite a few people from all different departments, and we sat down and he spearheaded that and kind of fell on my plate. So we took that and we were able to get that with the help from Tanya from the East End Clinic. And we got that down to about, say, 18 pages. And we made it specifically just for a pandemic. We tried to stay away from the COVID, just in case, unfortunately, I hope it never happens again. But if it does, we're all set up for just, any type of pandemic. So that was the first step. So we finally got that out. And we got that out about the end of March. Once they decided, the province, it was March 16th that they announced they were closing non-essential businesses and redefining everything. So that was our guiding document. Then the next step, we went to each department and we proposed departmental operational plans. So that took a few weeks. So every department has their own operational plans, which go along with the provincial government's phased in plans that you hear Premier Ford talk about. We are in stage 3, some areas, unfortunately, he stepped back to stage 2. So there are 3 phases, but there's 3 stages in phase 2. Some people do get a little that mixed up. So we're in stage 3 of phase 2 right now. So that's where we stand. So that's kind of the government end of it. And we have the local health units. So in our branches, the Parkvine Health Unit will deal with us and up to Moosonee, and the Temiskaming deals with our campus in Haileybury and Kirkland Lake. So we have the 2 health units that we deal with. Currently in place, the biggest news for us, we did have at the beginning when we decided to reopen, we also had to have reopening plans. And the Parkland Health Unit, both health units had to review them, and we went from there. The big key was how we were going to screen people. So we decided to, at that time, it was recommended just that we do a passive screening, which is the signs you would see in a lot of businesses now. Well, before the law has changed a couple of weeks ago, but it's just questions that you ask yourself before you enter a facility. So that's the way we did it. We do now have a great active screening app, which Lynn will tell you, explain everything about that. It's a great tool that really helps us a lot. So anybody that enters does have to do that on their phone, or we do have physical forms that they can sign. And then, like I said, Lynn will go through that with you. So the one thing people do ask about the information on those forms, and that is for contact tracing only. So that's, you see that now everywhere you go, a restaurant, you go to a bar, if you go to a theater, if you go anywhere that's people are allowed, you do have to sign in and put your contact information. So that's very important. Here, what we've done, and a key to all campuses, we restrict access. So you want to channel people during this into 1 or 2 areas. The other campuses only have 1 entrance open. Here we have 2. So we're on the west side and the east side, and we have guards or monitors, depending. We have security guards here. I think the other ones have different types of monitors. We use some of the police foundation people as well here, so which works out well. We do have, those stations are guarded all the time. People do have to provide proof that they've gone through the screening. We have disposable face masks available at all the check-in points in case people do not have face coverings are mandatory everywhere now. So here they're mandatory until you get to a secured place. So if you have an office like myself, my own office, I'm fine in here. If I step out of my office, then I have to put my mask on if I'm going somewhere else. For students or visitors that come in, you need your mask right till you get to the point to where you're speaking to. Most of the areas that the students would be going to right now, being that most of the programs are online, would be like student services and areas like that. The student services people are protected by physical barriers, which we have in place for all areas that there's interaction with the public. Social distancing is in effect everywhere. We have numerous hand sanitizing stations throughout all campuses. They're clearly marked with identical sign. And there's the signages for the occupancy for washrooms, which is important. So that's everywhere, all campuses. It's laid out quite a bit, and the health units are very keen on the signage is very important. And they switched, just not to get off topic, but in my safety world, years and years ago, they went to an international kind of signage format so that no matter wherever you go in the world, the symbols are all pretty well the same. So you notice a lot of the signs, especially during COVID, no matter what site you go to, their signs are very similar. So it's very important. Some people may not be able to read the language, but the symbol always would be the same. The biggest thing is the disinfecting and cleaning has increased a big amount. So all the equipment, especially in the trades programs, they're cleaned constantly. Some of the classrooms are fogged after. The scheduling has changed. Try not to have as many students in the classroom. So to do that, we'd have to adjust the scheduling quite a bit. So we've done that. We set up plexiglass, different areas, all the cleaning, the washrooms, door handles, faucets, anything that's touched regularly gets cleaned constantly. So we've added, I know here at our site, it used to be 1 person kind of around in the afternoon, and we have 2 or 3 now. And anytime in the trades program, we up that even, we have 1 person dedicated just to the trades floor now. So that's constant cleaning. So that's kind of where we are. That's kind of the safety measures that we've put in so far.
Quite extensive.
Yeah, as we reopened, it was quite a challenge actually.
Okay, and that kind of leads me to my next question about challenges. So what challenges was the college faced with in the implementation of these safeties measures?
The biggest challenge was, I think, not so much, well, communication is quite a challenge, but I know with our procurement and the purchasing equipment was the problem, because the information you're getting from the government is when you're we're an essential, we weren't sure if education was going to be part of the essential workplace, which we were. But, most people are working from home. So the big challenge was to try and kind of latch on to all this PPE and the plexiglass. And it was very difficult at the beginning. Masks were so difficult at the beginning to get. And poor John Harrington, our procurement, he just worked tirelessly to try and secure some type of mask. It took quite a while to reach out to so many different suppliers. Eventually we did, like I said, have the fortune that we were basically closed to the public, effectively pretty well March 16th, 17th. So that helped. But when we're starting to reopen, you got to make sure you have all this in stock and the inventory is there. So that was the absolute huge challenge. Plexiglass was so hard to find. Our maintenance department, we went through all the campuses with everybody where we knew the barriers needed to be. We interviewed the people that wanted the barriers where they would want them. And, there was a delay putting that up, and it's just because we just couldn't get the material. It's all fine now. We do have, spare barricades now and everything, but very, very huge challenge. And the other main challenge was just this ever-changing world. The rules change. Sometimes you think you're going ahead and watch the news, and it seems like you're going backwards a bit. So I think we're doing quite well in the north. I think Northerners seem to understand. I guess just because of we're kind of isolated anyway. That's what I mean. It says
that in our view book. We were doing social distancing before it was even a thing.
So, yeah, that was the two huge thing. It's just the directives changing and just to get the material and the proper equipment. That's all been corrected, and the government's done a good job. We give them credit. They really stepped up. So
perfect. Okay, so the last question I have for you is, how are these safety measures affecting college operations at each campus?
Yeah, there's numerous. It's the main thing, I guess, would be just most of the courses, unfortunately, are now online. So they're online, or they're virtual, or they're kind of a hybrid of the two. And from what they've announced, what we've announced, that will extend into January, into the winter semester as well. It's amazing how time flies. When we looked at all this, January seemed so far away, but as we got into the fall semester, we realized we have to continue that. So that's a huge impact to the college. Class sizes, class sizes have been reduced, and face-to-face is very limited. The labs still operate, but again, now you could put 6-8 people in and run a lab. Now you're pretty well got to do one at a time and space things out. So it's different. It's difficult for the faculty as well. It's stressful. It's stressful for everybody. Cleaning staff has been increased. I guess the biggest impact for the students is everything's online, which also affects all our employees. So I'd say 80% of our employees are working from home. So, which in my world is also, creates a little different environment. So, there's safety aspects to how you set up your office at home. So I know we're developing a program with HR now for the whole working at home program. So,
oh, good.
Yeah, that should be coming out pretty shortly, actually. So, which is something that's just going to be the norm for a while. So, we have to adapt to it. So, that's the big impact. I think you just don't, everybody's on different schedules. I haven't seen people since March.
Can relate.
Other than this, thank God for, electronics and computers and all that, we have our meetings and we can still conduct business. So, which seems going quite well, actually. So, I talked to our president. I talked to our president, Audrey, the other morning. Things, we're still doing well. And we're still, doing what we're supposed to be doing. So that's the good thing.
Great. Okay. So I know you did have a PowerPoint that you wanted to share, but was there anything on there you specifically wanted to talk about, or did we kind of cover most things?
Yeah, I think, yeah, pretty well. I can just
Covered it.
summarize. I don't really have to show it. It's just, it's a program. It's an awareness program that we thought we developed. So myself and with IT, we developed a whole program so that people coming on site, when we just the beginning, when we first started to try and reopen, that people, just the awareness. It's more of an awareness of COVID. It explains what COVID is, how it spreads, how to wear your mask, how to clean your mask, how to wash your hands, how to disinfect properly, how to social distance properly. There's a couple of videos in there that you can watch before you come on. It has our protocols. It has good connecting links for all the health units and Government Ontario. It's just a good tool so you actually know what COVID is and how it came to be, unfortunately.
Okay.
And please, if you're coming on site, please go through it. You can watch it on PowerPoint. There's a PDF version. I know it's on our Blackboard. It's on the student portal. It's there. So, and there's 3 questions at the end, just to make sure that you understood.
Paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that, Graham. And now we'll move over to you, Lynn. I know Graham had mentioned in his first answer about this iCent app. What is this app? And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so iCent is a mobile app. So on your Android or Apple device, you can download this app. It was actually developed by a former international student who is studying in Canada, who recognized the need for this type of tool for colleges to basically be able to communicate directly with students on their smartphones through push notifications. So the app began pretty much as a tool for international students to send and receive any information about their travel to Canada, and now has the ability to host any information that we want to have, and other colleges also use it. Even other institutions, different types of organizations use iCent to communicate whatever information that they want to have on that app. And it's pretty neat because we can kind of customize what communication we want to send out through the app based on whether you're a student or staff, or what campus you're at, and what program you're at even. So that's pretty cool. And this app kind of came to be utilized at Northern primarily due to COVID and recognizing all the challenges with communicating, all of the changes and how it's very fluid situation. Everything's changing quite quickly, and it's just a tool that we're going to be using to help communicate what is happening at the college, and will be used for the screening, as was previously mentioned.
Okay, great. So what are the benefits of this app? I know you talked about being a communication tool. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think the main benefit is the fact that we can customize who we are sending certain information to, and the fact that it's, instant and it's in the palm of your hand. So now we can notify students pretty much instantly, and it'll be relevant to the individual based on their program or campus, so we can send these push notifications as needed. So that's the main benefit, is just the instantaneous being able to communicate, and that it's fast and relevant to people.
Awesome. Okay, so now how is this app being used alongside our existing methods of communication? So Blackboard, email, website, social media.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So this app is not replacing any other tool that we use. So the My Northern Student Portal, Blackboard, those are still the main tools for accessing academic material and all that. The website is still going to be updated as usual. Our social media will continue to be updated with certain aspects and fun kind of content for, on social media and communicating through those channels. So iCent is being used supplementary to these existing communication tools so that we can host certain information on the app. Some things can be accessed offline, so which is especially important when international students are traveling here. They get to the airport and they know all the information that they have there. They can fill out forms in the app to let the international department know their arrival time and all that, and host all the information with getting to Canada. And it's also it's customized to what is needed like in the app. So some things pull in from the website. So you'll notice certain things, it's text within the app, but sometimes it has the ability to just pull in information directly from our website in the app. So just kind of like a one-stop shop for all of that. But in a nutshell, all like Blackboard, email, website, all that is still being used for those types of communications too.
Awesome. Okay. Now, I know that you do have like a little demonstration for us, but before we move to that and COVID, I wanted to ask about the app. Who right now do we want having this app? Who's supposed to be downloading this app?
Yeah, so we have, this app is available, it's free. You just go into, the App Store on your device to download it. You just search for iCent, and it's for all of our current students. Like right now we have dashboards once you log in, and we'll show how that all works. But we have a dashboard for domestic students as well as for international students, and each of those are kind of customized to the information. So international students, there's more information about traveling here and that sort of thing, but on the domestic side, it's the exact same kind of information, but just without more of that information that's specific to international students. So right now we have those dashboards. In the future, near future, we're implementing dashboards to for prospective students of any kind, to host kind of information about life at Northern College and different, so they can explore what kind of program they might want to attend here. And it is being used for staff, so we don't have like a specific staff dashboard, but we are using it as staff members or faculty to do the pre-screening. So with that, in the app, because it has the ability to have these different forms, so the ones I mentioned about letting us know when your travel arrival time at the airport is and that sort of thing. We also, you created a form in there that is the active pre-screening for COVID that will need to be filled out anytime a student or staff or a visitor comes into a campus building. So before you arrive, you would need to do this form.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Perfect sense.
Basically everybody.
Yeah. So basically, if you are a staff member or a current student, you must have this app. Is there anything more you wanted to talk about with the pre-screening and the COVID dashboard?
Yeah. So basically, the pre-screening, the active pre-screening that's been implemented, it's the public health, it's like mandated. So we have this digital form, and I'll share my screen to show a video, which the update about this, like announcing that we have this app, was sent through Blackboard and has a link to this video, but I figured we could watch it here. It's just a quick kind of tutorial on where to go and access it. It's kind of just a screen recording. to show where you go and how to fill out the form. We do have paper forms, as Graham mentioned. It just the app allows us to minimize the amount of paper that we're using and that sort of thing, and just really streamline the process, and everything's, if it's digital, and then it's kind of easier to handle if we need to access that information later, if contact tracing needed to happen. Hopefully it wouldn't, but that's kind of how that's working. So should I share my screen?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
I just want to mention before you get into it there, Lynn, if you do have any questions, please be sending them through the chat. I see we do have a question, and we will get to those after the demonstration. Okay, go ahead, Lynn.
Okay, so this is my voiceover that I made for this little video. So, and this is just a screen recording of my actual phone. So we'll just play it now.
What you're going to do is tap on the Play Store, go to the search bar and search for iCent, I-C-E-N-T. Tap on the iCent to install. And then click open. It'll take you straight into the app, and it just takes a moment, and then you search for Canada for country of institution, of course. Enter Northern College, and you can choose either dashboard. I went into the international, enter email and PIN. Tap that, and then enter your email that you wish to sign up with. Continue and go correct, and it'll send you an email in a moment with a PIN, and then open that email up to the email that you signed up with and copy the PIN, and then head back into the iCent app and then paste the PIN in there and continue. Go through all the standard steps. And then the dashboard will load. You'll click COVID, the screening, and then fill out the form. Submit. And then in a moment, you'll get an email, and you can open that up, and that's what you would present at the door. If you are able to attend or come to campus, you would have said no to all of the questions, and then you are able to come in and show this at the door.
Perfect.
So, basically, yeah, you just go to the App Store in your phone to download, and that's where you would access all the information for you as a student. So, if you're an international student, log into the international dashboard. If you're domestic, go into domestic. And within the app, you'll click on the COVID-19 category of the image to access the screening form there, and it also has other information.
Oh, I think she froze. Gotta love technology.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
That's okay. So when she comes back on, we will continue that. But like I said, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat or the Q&A section. And then I did want to ask you, Graham, was there anything else that you wanted to add before we moved on to questions?
No, just well, while Lynn is frozen, as quick as her video was, that's pretty well as quick as it takes.
Yeah.
I do it on my way in the morning, and it's very easy to use. And just make sure, though, when you do show it, that you scroll to the bottom, because there is a timestamp.
Okay.
So Yeah, so the monitors at all the campuses will look for the no answers and then just scroll up and they're instructed to look for the timestamps.
Perfect.
You were frozen. So.
Back.
I had to rejoin completely.
Sorry, did you want to continue on there with what you were saying?
I don't really remember where I was at.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's basically, I think, yeah, you click on COVID-19 and then that's where you'd find the screening form along with other information. And then that's the form that you would fill out if and when you decide that you need to be on campus. Besides, like, you know, if you have a lab or need to go to an appointment with student services or anything like that, then you would fill out that form before you enter a building. Otherwise, we really, you know, encourage you to continue to stay home and stay safe there.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much. Now let's move to questions. We do not have a ton of questions. I think the only one I see here is in regards to January intake for the environmental technician program. So Graham, you had mentioned that we are continuing on with this into the winter semester, but that would not apply to the programs that were deemed essential, correct? With them needing to have the labs in person?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So we have protocols set up for all the labs. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so if your program was deemed essential, you would have obviously received an email communicating that. So it's really important to refer back to those important emails that you do receive. If you do have further questions about whether or not yours will be in person or online, I would urge you to reach out to our admissions department for further clarification on that. Like we've said, this is ever changing. We are constantly having to keep up with all these new things that keep happening. So what maybe we told you yesterday might not be the same as what the new norm is today. So it's really, really important to keep checking all of those communication channels out for what the newest information is in regards to that. Any more? Let's see. Chat. I've seen the list of colleges in whose COVID readiness plan is approved, but are Northern. Okay, so I did post this in the beginning of the chat there, and I'm going to read this out for everyone on the call because we were pretty certain that this would be asked during the webinar. So Lynn graciously sent this to me this morning. So I will read this out. Okay, so please be assured that Northern College has a COVID-19 readiness plan for international students that has been submitted to the ministry and it is in the queue to be approved. The approval process is underway and we appreciate your patience as we await confirmation. We will let you know as soon as we hear of this approval and we'll provide you with updates along the way. You can also find updates on the IRCC website. Huge long link. I'm not even going to try and spell that out. It is in the chat, so please feel free to click that. And also keep in mind that the ministry is currently reviewing readiness plans for the colleges throughout Canada, and this approval list will continue to be updated as colleges are approved. Thank you, and we look forward to studying with you. So we just want to let you know that that has been submitted. It is awaiting approval, so please be patient. And I hope that helps to answer that question. And yes, do we have another question? Oh, about supply chain management. Again, I think that would be a PureRes program, if I'm correct. Everything that we are speaking to is in regards to our Timmins campus, our Haileybury campus, Kirkland Lake, and our Moosonee campus. So if you do have questions specific to programs that are being done at PureRes, you would need to reach out specifically to PureRes to make sure you get the appropriate information. And anyone else have any questions? I think somebody said The pandemic has wasted a lot of students' time. Agreed, it's wasted a lot of people's time. Not much we can do about that. It's just the new norm for everybody. I mean, we wouldn't choose for this to be the norm, but it is what it is, and we're trying our best to make it work for everybody. So please be gracious in how you deal with that. Yeah, Purez campus supply chain. So yeah, I would definitely reach out to the Purez campus. No, I don't see any further ones come in. Okay, so thank you so much, Graham and Lynn. You guys have been fantastic today. It was wonderful doing this webinar with you guys, and I hope that you felt good in giving out this information. I hope that you guys attending learned some new information. Please make sure you download the iCent app. And also, if you have any further questions, you can email or call us. And you can always book a virtual appointment with myself or Sumit in regards to domestic questions, because we are domestic recruiters, via our website. And then we can also, if you are an international student as well, please send those requests forward and we can get you to the appropriate people. We also do these webinars every single Wednesday from 1 until 2 p.m. So next week will be all about our new, it's got a very long title, but it's the Ontario College Virtual Fair. So there's going to be a big event happening that we will be promoting and talking about next week, which is really important. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, tune in next week, same place, same time. Stay safe, stay connected, and thank you, everybody. It was wonderful. Have a great day.